Hello, this is a Chessodoro game review. It was played over the board and rapid game 10+5. Student is playing white with fide rating around 1900 against black opponent who is an FM with 2200 plus rating. So game begins e4, French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, main lines, bishop b4. So we have a French winnower variation, e5 main move, and big theory here, yeah. Kind of risky for both players, they have to know their stuff. Coming into this sort of theory jungle, queen g4. Student chooses an aggressive line, so usually a move order is like a3, bishop c3, bc c5, and then we can transpose back into the game like happened queen g4. Or there is also a very interesting move h4 in this position, so student can check this out as well. So in the game first queen g4 was played, c5 but basically transposed back into it. Castle. So to my knowledge this is covered in some chessable courses like Sethuraman, I think GM covers this. I have it in my PGNs as well. So big theory, both sides are kind of risking, yeah, because they really need to know the stuff. But personally I like this position for white more, because it seems like black will have a hard time because they castled early. They will have a hard time defending here, and I like attacking more, yeah, than defending. So after castle, bishop d3, the main move, focusing on the king side. And here we have many moves for black in the theory side. Opponent chose queen c7, which is not, it's a rare move, maybe not so good actually, maybe he mixed up the theory as well. So the main move is knight bc6, then we play something, theory goes along these lines, bishop g5, queen a5, because queen c7 is not so good, it's a bit more passive, and white gets very good attack. So bishop g5, queen a5, white should go knight e2. Usually we see this idea sacrificing the pawns here to gain initiative. cd. If c4, we have a nice tactic. You can pause the video to find it if you want. Bishop h7, king takes, take, and the knight is loose, king is exposed, so we win back everything with interest here. So cd is the main move, then f4, defending the center. Yeah, black just took 2 pawns, but this is super sharp position. We are attacking, and I don't know even what's happening here. Yeah, you need to really analyze this position from here to understand what is happening. Black is risking also very much because attack is coming. Yeah, okay, they have pawns up, but super sharp play here. Another move instead of knight bc6 was c4. Maybe actually in the game you kind of mixed up, as we'll see, a move order with this move, because now we go bishop h6, knight g6, and now we have kind of to take it, but difference is position is closed. So I guess we'll see soon in the game you kind of mixed up with this line probably. And here white has very good attack coming, h5 is next, center is kind of closed. f5, another theoretical move is f5, and play could go along these lines. Of course there are many more moves, I'm just showing some main sample line. This looks like heavy theory, you should study it more like carefully. And something like this position, it's a very strange play but very interesting game as well. White has pair of bishop, position's kind of closed, maybe we'll go on dark square somehow. You have to analyze this position more. Okay, c4 was the move, but in the game, let's come back to the game, queen c7 was played. So here student thought for like 3 minutes. Remember, it's a 10+5 rapid game, so it thought this was a critical moment maybe in the game. maybe didn't remember the theory and went bishop h6. So bishop h6. Yeah, if you don't remember, it can be very dangerous. Yeah, so to mix up like that. But to me, on the surface, bishop h6 looks like a one-move threat only, because if we don't have a follow-up after knight g6, yeah, then why are we playing this? Because it's kind of gaining a tempo. So the best move was knight f3. Yeah, that's why queen c7 is a bit dubious. I think instead of bishop h6, white could have played queen knight f3. Yeah, we don't care about, again, this is like a reoccurring theme. Yeah, we don't care about these captures of these pawns, because we already starting to do a Greek sack idea here. Yeah, so knight f5 probably is best. If they take like immediately, yeah, they take, we could just castle short, and now, yeah, now dc3 would be a losing blunder because we go Greek gift and we win here. f6 would be the move, yeah, after, maybe instead of this, yeah, blunder, but then we could take, and we are nicely developed. We sacrificed the pawn, but this is like big attacking chances for white. Yeah, our pieces are better. We are coming with the bishops. Maybe win this pawn somehow. So instead, after knight f3, yeah, if they take, we just castle. Probably better move is knight f5. But then we go queen h5 with idea g4 to blast open this diagonal and kick this knight out. And then this would be a mistake, because we can even sacrifice everything here for a checkmate attack like this. So cd is bad move because of g4. So they have to close the position down, and we go something like this. Yeah, now position is closed. We activate the bishop on the dark square. Even king d2 is some weird move. Yeah, maybe humanly it would be castle, normal move, with some interesting play opposite color bishops. Yeah, some center. White has some center, but after king d2, engine shows slightly better for white. I don't know if anyone would choose this move. Probably castles. So you see, the answer was against queen c7, knight f3. Just simple development. We don't need any heroics here. So this was like a critical moment in the game. Bishop h6 was played. Of course, black played knight g6 just to cover the file, not to get mated. And now white made a mistake. I think they took the knight. And my guess is this line was mixed up from previous. This idea with c4, like we've seen, yeah, here and then take. That's my biggest guess, that this was kind of mixed. So instead queen c7 here, and now opponent student took here. So when we forgot the theory and went kind of all in, I would suggest not backing out. Yeah, so we needed to play sharply yet again. h4 was our best chance, I think. And there are some crazy lines here. We win back the piece. We go here. Some very sharp lines. If they capture here, yeah, we can just play king e2. Everything is defended and we're taking back, and they have to watch out for some additional sacks. So yeah, this play could be something like this. Chances for both sides. This variation, or instead of capturing on bishop immediately, black could go something like this with another sharp position. Something along these lines. Very messy position, but chances again for both sides. Maybe this was black's best option, I guess, because white's king is a bit exposed here as well. But bishop g6 clearly a mistake, because yeah, this was our best attacker. We really don't want to give it up, and big difference with that closed position. Yeah, there it's not so important. Yeah, when the position gets closed, bishops then become less valuable. Yeah, but here the position is still wide open, so Yeah, and now white loses time and loses the initiative, yeah, because our best attacker is gone. So CD. Black could play also something like this, put something on diagonal, yeah, with these ideas, but of course just normal moves. And he won a pawn, yeah. So student says, I underestimated the activity of my pieces, thinking that I could sacrifice a pawn on c2 and get sufficient level of counterplay. However, king remained in the center. I totally agree. We didn't manage to castle in this game and our pawn down. If we at least managed to castle, then we could talk about compensation here. I think queen f5, queen g3. Another move maybe was to exchange the queen, but of course I understand you don't want to do that. Still want to kind of attack for this pawn. Something like this could happen in the game. Maybe we develop this rook this way and go something like for this play. Yeah, but it's still pawn down. We have opposite color bishops, but maybe knight will take at some moment. So yeah, this is a bit of a suffering. Yeah, black will still play for a win. And this was an option to exchange queens, but of course I wouldn't probably do it as well. Yeah, and now black played a good move. Just before we castle, yeah, check. And very important, stopping the castle, queen d3. You chased the queen a bit. Yeah, not letting us castle again. And you start pushing the pawn, good idea. King might actually walk, yeah, castle by hand we will do. But we have to be looking at these dangerous ideas, yeah, on this diagonal. You went this move to just sack this pawn. Our queen side is basically falling, so our only chance is to somehow organize this attack on the black king. So otherwise we lose the game. So here other option was to just run away with the king. Maybe something like this could happen, and yeah, because we attack the knight as well, so this is not in time. They take defending, and we at least do this. Although for human, maybe some practical chances. Engine, of course, shows that black is winning, so... But yeah, this was an option. Bishop d2, you covered. And started chasing the queen again. And now, actually, black missed one thing, but it's very hard to spot in a rapid game. They went like regrouping the knight, yeah? Like, very human move. But they missed bishop a6, spectacular move. Very hard to spot the sacrifice. Yeah, intending checkmate. So we have to come back. And basically, piece down, but our king is so exposed, so black is winning here. Changing the last defender, just coming down, yeah, to checkmate us. So this was a very nice idea for black. They could have played also maybe here or bishop b7. They went knight e7, and actually you're now back into the game because you managed to castle. So, but there was an even better move here, knight d2, queen f5, and you could play all these with tempos, yeah, and suddenly you're activating the pieces very much, yeah, and h5 even, yeah. Like this was a nice sequence, all with tempos. Castle, okay, but unfortunately after this move, because you see castle also, this knight d2 also kind of kicks the queen to the same square where the knight wants to go. So this was a very nice option for white, all with tempos, and suddenly you get big compensation. So big chance here for white to get something. But instead of castle, knight comes here. And now the decisive mistake, I would say, in the game. Queen g5. So here you needed to play still queen h3. And the game remains still, like for rapid, it still remains a bit unclear. Maybe, of course, black is better, he's pawn up, but still you have some practical chances. Let's say now we are even threatening to trap the queen. So they would probably play h6, rook e1, something along these lines. At least we get active pieces, yeah, for this pawn. So not so easy for black to kind of convert this. It would be a long game, yeah. So activity compensates here, but instead I think you miscalculated one moment here. you thought there was no h6, but there is actually, and this queen g6. Now queen f4 doesn't help much either, because after these exchanges they win another pawn, and yeah, we're down 2 pawns in an endgame. But queen g6, I think what you missed after all these exchanges, that the knight was hanging in the end. Yeah, maybe I'm right, I don't know, but probably this was miscalculated. And yeah, now black is winning. Yeah, he's okay, we have some pawns, but they're weak actually, and this is an excellent move. And let's see how FIDE master converted this with black. Of course, exchanging, yeah, losing another pawn. Yeah, some maneuvers, some good piece placements, and now the king is coming to win the game basically. No chances here against FIDE master. Yeah, king is coming, and basically we either get checkmated or he will take all the pawns like this. And yeah, here the game ended. I don't know, maybe lost on time or resigned, but yeah, it's totally losing here. So let's sum up this game. What are the conclusions? Yeah, so the first key moment was of course this bishop h6 move. Yeah, here this, yeah, and even after long things, so we really have to be careful with time and rapid. Yeah, 3 minutes is a long move, long time for one move. Here you needed maybe to, if you forgot, yeah, don't risk it, play normal move like knight f3. Yeah, that was the best. Okay, but if you mixed up, yeah, and convinced yourself that this was the move in theory, then you kind of needed not to back out of it. I think second step is very important. Yeah, you really need to kind of follow through with your risk, otherwise you're just counterattack comes back to you. Yeah, after you took the knight, but this was a bad decision, so you needed to go for these messy lines then. Okay, what's next? Yeah, yeah, keep but another critical moment in the game, I think, was after this knight e7 move. Here you had a nice knight d2 idea. Yeah, so the game was kind of beginning to turn back towards white at this moment. Yeah, you kind of managed to castle finally, but here you had this knight d2 better move. So this was another critical moment. And what else? Yeah, you got back in the game there, but after that quick mistake followed up, yeah, with this queen g5. You let the knight in here, so you needed to be careful about this, kind of calculating the forcing moves. Yeah, what happens after forcing move h6. Yeah, so safer was this way, and better, safer and better. Yeah, you didn't need to risk so much because you're already out of troubles. Yeah, you castle, okay, pawn down, okay, we play on, but didn't need to kind of go so risky with the queen. And yeah, so the main takeaway from this game, I think, if you mix up the theory and need to improvise, don't kind of back out of what you play. Yeah, try to improvise further. That's my suggestion. Of course, it could backfire badly, but you kind of took the risk, yeah, by forgetting the theory in the first place. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll make a nice plan for you to improve your positional play, yeah, what we discussed. So see you around. Bye bye.